Hey folks, Polaris here. 2019, wow, gone. um, yeah, here we are at the end of 2019. Hopefully, with 2020 bringing us some new and exciting stuff. And 2019 brought us a lot of exciting stuff. Increase in channel traffic, a lot of new faces coming onto the channel, some awesome requests, some brand new amiibo, some exciting new characters. I mean, we have all these DLC characters of Banjo, Hero, Terry, characters that we wouldn't even consider thinking being in Smash or now in Smash, with still this elusive fifth character that hasn't come out yet, but I'm thinking we're going to get some kind of announcement next year, probably early January, so I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Joker was like that too, so. But I wonder what this mysterious fifth character will be. We shall find out together, soon, guys. But I wanted to do this video as just a quick recap of, in terms Amiibo of 2019, and at least what I regard, in my opinion, is my favorite Amiibo of 2019. And this is hard, being that I love everyone. So I'm gonna break it down into categories. I'm gonna break it down, my favorite by release. So wave 1, wave 2, etc. My favorite out of that wave, and then at the end, while I'm still talking about it, I'll come to the decision when I finally put them all together and be like, okay, which one do I really like for 2019? The exception to the rule is going to be, since Wave 1 technically came out the same day Smash did in 2018, I am technically going to put that one in there too. So, because I didn't really do that for 2018, because there's only technically 3 Amiibo for Smash Brothers that came out in 2018, so I'm going to put those 3 in there in there as well. So, I'll go ahead and recap on there. Starting off with Wave 1 from 2018, it is one of them on there. So we had the Inkling Amiibo come out, very different from her Inkling counterpart from Splatoon. Very, very cool design. I love it a lot. I love the hair design on there. It was really, really cool. The ink tank, just like in the Splatoon ones, they have a little ink on there. Really, really cool. A returning character, which I thought was really, really cool, is a redesigned Wolf. Super cool looking, super intimidating. So much detail Wolf has. It's super cool. At first, I was not into the purple because I'm a really big fan of Wolf in Brawl. I really dig his design in Brawl. But I really do like all the redesigns of the Star Fox characters in Smash. They look phenomenal. And going back and looking at it, and it's looking at Super Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS, and then looking at this, a lot of people look and see it's like, well, they just rehashed and reused a lot of the stuff from Smash from Wii U and 3DS, and look at it again, because that's not the case. Like, a lot of characters, even basic characters like Pikachu and Luigi, they look completely different in Smash Ultimate. Different animations, different idle animations, different poses. They really, really, like, really took care of this game, so I really do like it. And Wolf is one of those ones that, like, I really do dig the design of it, so it's hard to consider. He might be this person's Wave 1, but I can't help but also consider Ridley. So, as some of you may know, I am a huge Metroid fan. I love the Metroid series. So when I saw that this guy was getting a release, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Um, and then, of course, physically seeing it in person is just, it's so great. It's so awesome looking. I just feel the one biggest thing I feel about Ridley in comparison to him in game is that I feel like even here on the camera, he doesn't really seem to be doing the same thing. But when you look at Ridley in person, it really is different than when you're looking at him on camera or even looking at him on Smash. Um, he's super different looking in terms of color. Like, his color pops so much more in Amiibo form than he does in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And that's the reason why whenever you see my Ridley in there, or somebody asks for Ridley as a request, he is a different color. He's more of a purple variant, and the green wings more reminiscent of his original Metroid release. And I chose that because that Ridley does pop more. He looks really, really cool like that. Either that, or I have the Meta Ridley, which is somewhere in my box. Right now, it's just the base. A lot of my custom Amiibo did get damaged in terms of the move, so a lot of my Koopalings, like, they had the little clown cars. They did get busted. I'm slowly working on fixing them back again. Like I have some of them fixed back again, like Iggy. Iggy is back again. So, um, but a lot of them are kind of broken during the move. A lot of stuff broke during the move, which is very unfortunate. But it is what it is. So, and then another thing. I mean, out of Wave One, I will. This is my favorite out of the three, hands down. I am a big sucker for effect parts as well. So seeing this landing effect of Ridley is really cool. It's my favorite. My favorite of Wave One. So, and then we got Wave Two, which was very interesting because Wave 2 finally got a DLC character first before a lot of even returning characters or newcomers itself. So we start off with him himself, and that was the Piranha Plant. Really cool, really big. A little bit heavy, which I like. I love hefty amiibo. I just love the weight on hefty amiibo. So things like Donkey Kong, Wario. I love the bulky amiibos. They're super super cool. And he's got a little bit of heft to him. He's top heavy, obviously, because this big old head is and mouth. But he's really really cool for something so simple. He has such detail. Like there's so much like little detail on the pot. So there's like little holes and little markings on there to make it look like an actual pot plant, a potted plant on there. And then there's like little dirt in there to reminiscent like the actual dirt and fertilizer inside the potted plant. And then his leaf is this is really really cool the way that they something so simple looks super amazing on there. So Piranha Plant's really really cool. And then we have King K. Rool, a newcomer once again, and I love him. And for such a big amiibo, which is kind of weird, he's actually not as heavy as Piranha Plant, which is super weird. But he's just full of personality. Like it's just he's definitely reminiscent of his victory pose. So when he wins, that's one of his victory poses on there. The gold belly is really really cool. It's got that really nice metallic shine to it. I dig the cape, even though I am opposed to the I don't know why this is a thing in Super Smash Brothers. If you have a cape, it has to be ripped. Like Prom's is ripped, Roy's is ripped, Ganondorf is ripped. If you have a cape, I guess it's like the ripped cape people or something like that. Roy's cape was ripped before, but I guess it's taken from Binding Blade. So, really cool. One detail I didn't really notice about King K. Rool until later was the fact that he has a little tail. It's not really easy to see in there at all. I never knew. I mean, I knew that King K. Rool is like an alligator or anything like that, um, but I didn't know he had a tail. Like you never see King K. Rool's tail or anything like that, and then in the amiibo it just has his little tail with his little scales on it and everything like that. It's super super cool. So his eye poking out. It's he's just full of personality. I love him so much. So really cool on there. So and then last but not least on there is the Ice Climbers. And these guys are absolutely amazing. I love the way that they did this. You know, with the little ice effect on the back. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it would be translucent, but I guess it works that way as well with the frosted plastic, so it makes sense in terms for ice. But man, do they look awesome. I was mostly concerned about these two when they got announced, because then my biggest factor was, okay, yeah, putting two amiibo together, how are they going to be? It's going to be, you know, a lot of space. It's going to be like a bigger box. Maybe they'll just do one amiibo, maybe they'll just do Popo, and they won't do Nana, and they'll do another one for Nana. I was not expecting both of them to be on here and to do it so well. And yeah, they're just really, really cool. I dig them so much. So props on Ice Climbers, which will be also this wave's winner. And then for the next wave, we got Young Link, returning character. So really cool version of Young Link. I actually prefer this version of Young Link than the Majora's Mask version of Young Link. I was very surprised because there is a company out there, and I actually have it on here on the side. There is a company out there. This is going to be a future Link amiibo as well, by the way. And I don't know what it is yet, but it will also be a future Link amiibo. So this company has released really, really cool. Oh, there's a picture of the back, actually. Really cool figures of The Legend of Zelda for the 30th anniversary around the same time that these got released. And these are officially licensed by Nintendo. I think they're called Bettycom is the Yeah, MiniComToy.com, and they do a lot of figures. Like right now, soon, I don't know, maybe in the future, maybe if Sora's a DLC character or anything like that. There's a ton of these that they do for different things, and they're really, really detailed, really, really cool. So one of the ones that got me really excited for, and this was a lot of confusion even back when we started getting all the Zelda pre-orders back in my store, that I don't know if you can kind of see it, but that's the representative for Majora's Mask in the Majora's Mask line for this for these figures, and then they're also kind of the scale with the amiibo, which is kind of cool too. And I was kind of a little bit disappointed that the fact that they are getting the one with the Mask of Truth, which, if some may know, on the cover and a lot of the official artwork for Majora's Mask and Majora's Mask 3D, this is what they use, and they use the Mask of Truth. To where in comparison, the Goron mask is cool, and it's a really cool ability in Majora's Mask. I just found it kind of weird that this was the one that they chose for the amiibo. And maybe it's because they already had the Mask of Truth and they didn't want to really imitate it. So I found that it was kind of weird that this was the pose that they chose, considering that the amiibo, most of the amiibo in the Zelda line do have a pose that's very iconic to their line and a lot of the official artwork. So I was very surprised by that. Same with the Twilight Princess one. The Twilight Princess one has that pose that's pretty much everywhere for Twilight Princess, and the Twilight Princess amiibo is kind of weird. It's also, but enough rambling on that. Sorry. Young Link though, I love this Young Link. He's super cool. I love him so much. I think he's just an automatic win. So cool. Like the scabbard has detail on there as well, and he's just really, really cool. With Deku Shield is just really detailed. I love him a lot. So Young Link came out on there, and then next up, Daisy. Daisy looks phenomenal. The only thing it's kind of weird with some amiibo, and maybe I'll pull it out here in a second. Is some amiibo, a lot of amiibo are not really to scale, and with other amiibo in terms of lines. And the Super Mario amiibo line, Daisy is completely, like, she towers over pretty much almost everybody, including this thing. So I think the Daisy amiibo in the Super Mario Brothers line, I think her crown is actually like where her fist is. So some amiibo are really, really small, and I think I mentioned that before with Samus. There. She is super small in comparison to certain amiibo like Ike, and Samus is like a 6'2". She is 6'2" with that power armor on. So it makes me concerned about the future of a certain amiibo that's coming out next month, how she is going to compare with her dark counterpart. But anyways, Daisy is just really, really cool. Unlike the Super Mario amiibo line, with Peach, Daisy, and Rosalina, they do not get the awesome detail that is on her dress. There is like super detailed patterning that's going on her dress that's reminiscent of the games, and they are just awesome. They have this nice little like faint metallic finish on there, so it's not just a yellow/orange dress. She's super cool, and then of course it's Daisy, so it's just this awesome personality of her just being this go-getter. So she's just super, super cool. I love her. So oh man, it's really hard. So next up in the line, and then is Ken. So Ken finally came out. So we have our second Echo, two Echoes in one line. It's crazy, right? So, and then Ken is really, really cool. Also, full personality there, kind of like telling you, come here, let's go, let's fight. Awesome. I'm loving the gi design, because the gi also has that kind of like textures of line of a gi. And it's really cool. It reminds me of my old martial arts days, because I used to actually also own a red gi. So I used to do a lot of weapons demonstrations and stuff like that. So I thought this was really, really cool. So, and it's just, it just feels like Ken. So in comparison, I think Ryu, he's posing, and it makes sense in this traditional Ryu pose. And I think this is like the perfect counterbalance to like that pose, is like having that Ken balance on there. So really, really cool. Also very reminiscent of his victory pose. So out of wave 3, yeah, definitely Young Link. I mean, if the hat didn't already give it away. So Young Link. And then next wave came out, so we got another returning character, and that was Pichu. Pichu is really, really cool. I dig it so much. A very different tone of yellow. Once again, I don't know if the camera is going to be able to pick it up the way that it is, but maybe I can pull down Pikachu right here, and then you can see very two different tones of yellow, which I thought was very weird. I don't know if that was just because of that batch of paint that they used for that, or they purposely made Pichu this color yellow in comparison. But I love him. He's adorable. I love it. It's just everything you think about everything you think about Pichu is exactly here. He's adorable. He's go-getting. He's full of energy. He's gonna shock himself. Poor guy. I love him. He's just amazing. The only thing I wish that they had with Pichu, and I might do this, I might actually ask my wife to do this because she does some of the custom amiibo for me, is that whenever anybody requests Pichu, this Pichu is a spiky-eared Pichu. I adore spiky-eared Pichu. I think like all the animations that we've seen with spiky-eared Pichu and Pikachu-colored Pichu, or the Pichu brothers, they're adorable. I love them so much. So I was hoping that I can get a spiky-eared Pichu, and I might do that in the future with this one. We'll see. Maybe it's a project for 2020. Another thing that's kind of weird is that, going back to the two Pichus, one of the color variations for Pichu is not the Pikachu-colored Pichu. I can imagine, you know, because it's just the color variation, people can get confused on it there. But if the icon shows above your head every time that you're playing, I'm surprised that's not a thing. So a shiny Pichu is a Pikachu-colored Pichu. It's just really weird that they didn't do that. So there's Pichu. And then we have a newcomer, and that's Isabelle. And I dig this Isabelle a lot more than the basic Animal Crossing amiibo. I love Isabelle, just in general, but I do love this one so much. It's just, she's adorable. She has so much happening right now. I mean, they all do, but I am missing the one other Isabelle amiibo, the Summer Isabelle amiibo. I have to find her. I don't know where I can find it. Probably online, but I love this design. And then just like the other Isabelle, I mean, she has the little bells. It's just really cool. I love her design. Really, really, really cool. That would be cool if, like, you shake the amiibo and it jingles the little bell icons. So this Isabelle is exactly of this outfit. So if you have requests for Isabelle amiibo and you just say Isabelle, the default would be this one. So, and then of course if somebody asks for more than one Isabelle, I have the other Isabelle, and this will scan as the winter outfit Isabelle amiibo. Or if anybody asks me specifically for winter Isabelle, there she is here. So we got Isabelle. And then last but not least, and I think my favorite out of this wave, Red. I love Pokemon Trainer Red. He is by far my favorite trainer. He is by far my favorite Pokemon character that's not a Pokemon. And it's just, it's so Red. It's so him. You know, he's got, you know, the little Versus Seeker that was there from Fire Red and Leaf Green. His backpack is all there with the different pockets, and they actually have, like, the different symbols for each pocket. So you got item pocket, ball pocket, key item pocket. It's just really cool textures on the jeans. All these, like, little flaps and everything, the bends on the jeans, that everything's happening. And just, like, his face is just so, you know, go Charizard, go Squirtle. And it just makes so much more sense. He just has so much personality. I only wish that there would be a Leaf amiibo to counter the Red amiibo. Or a female Pokemon trainer, if you will. It would have been so cool if Nintendo went out of their way and did stuff like that for female Robin, Alf, the Koopalings, and of course Leaf. I think it would have been really cool. I mean, if Corrin has two variants, and even Bayonetta and Cloud have two variants, and they're the same character, I mean, why can't this guy? I think it would be really cool. There is a figure that's stated to release in January of 2020 of a female Pokemon trainer. The only unfortunate part about it is it's part of, like, some limited bundle online in Japan. It's a female Pokemon trainer, Clefable, and Gengar. And right now they're going for a little bit too much. And I just want the Leaf figure, because from what I see, her size, and they're supposed to be to scale with each other, it's this new scale Pokemon line, is supposed to be almost exactly, if not perfectly, to this size. And I would love to take my original Leaf Trainer amiibo that I had was this Ivysaur. I would love to take that figure and put it on this base for Leaf instead, because I would love to have a female Pokemon Trainer counterpart for it. So for this wave, definitely red. Really, really cool. Alright, so next wave we have, going with Pokemon Trainer. Surprisingly, they didn't come out all at the same time. It's kind of weird. Squirtle. Really cool. I love Squirtle's design. He's a little bit on the wide side over here, but it makes sense because of his shell. He's a little turtle. So, just really cool, reminiscent once of one of his taunts. It's pretty cool. I like that. A little bit on the big side. So once again, like Pichu, these guys are not really to scale. So I'll bring out Pikachu once again so you can see. Like, here's Pikachu, and even Pikachu is small. It's supposed to be small. Like, Pichu is supposed to be obviously smaller, and so is Squirtle. And I get why they can't put them to scale, because, you know, obviously these are made for children, for anybody of every age, actually. So, they don't want to lose, like, any small parts or anything, or making it smaller will probably make it more fragile as well, so I can understand why they did that. And it's nice to have like a bigger representation of Squirtle anyway, so while it's not to scale, it's still pretty cool putting them together. So but yeah, I love the way that Squirtle looks. I think it would be really, really cool if Squirtle had like some kind of water effect right here to go with his pose and slash taunt, and then that gives a way to hide this little pole that he's standing on in the back over here. And then of course they do that for support because he is on his tail, but they do it for extra support because once again, you know, these are for all ages, so they don't want it to break or anything like that. But I thought it would be really cool if they had an effect part would be really cool for it. Because the next person up, Ivysaur, kind of does. I mean, he still does have that little base on here to hold him up, and granted, because of his pose, it makes sense. But he has the Vine Whips, and I thought that was really, really cool. And I absolutely love Ivysaur. So it's just, his bulb is really cool. The nice green leaves with the details of like the part of the stem on there that's actually growing out as part of the leaf, and they kind of branch off as well, just like an actual leaf. Really, really cool. Kind of wish that the vines were flexible. I mean, they are kind of bendy, but they're not meant to be. So it would be cool if there was like a wire in there that you can kind of like bend them around and everything. But really cool. Miles away from my custom amiibo that I did for Ivysaur. This is a million, 10 billion% better. If anybody gets that reference, put it down in the comments below. So, I love him. He's just awesome. So, Ivysaur. And then, last but not least, a returning character and a third-party character, which is really cool, Snake. So, I absolutely love the way that he looks. So, it's really, really cool to see third-party amiibo coming out in physical form because, one, some of these third-party characters they have little, if not at all, any merchandise. So it's really cool to have a representative of merchandise. And I know that there are a lot of Metal Gear Solid merchandise in there, but they're not cheap. So, I mean, you have the Dendrodroid, and I believe there was, at one point in time, maybe a figure, Play Arts from Square, they might have done it, or maybe I'm confusing with the actual figure arts itself, or Robotech. Nonetheless, they are imports, and they are expensive. And then you have stuff like the Metal Gear Rex and Ray, which are just ridiculously overpriced. But this is a cool representation for, you know, Smash fans, Snake fans, or Metal Gear fans. It's a really cool way to get a, you know, cheap, good-looking, solid Snake that just says it's Solid Snake. He has everything. Like, his suit is super cool. You know, you have the detail on the suit. His gun is there. You know, parts of his vest, his pouches, and just everything is there. So, I dig it. And then, of course, him, you know, he's touching the back of his ear to get in contact with Colonel. So, really, I dig it so much. So, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's, man, this wave is kind of hard because it goes between Snake and Ivysaur. But I think Snake. Definitely Snake. Because he is third party, so definitely Snake. And then the last wave, at least for the year, we'll start off on here with Chrom. Crom is super cool. I absolutely love Crom. The only thing about my Crom is the sword is kind of bent a little bit, but in comparison, like when I first saw the icon, because most of the icons that you see in Super Smash Brothers, they're high resolution pictures on the Super Smash Brothers website is what their amiibo will turn out to be, in terms of a pose. So we already know, at least pose wise, what Joker is going to look like, what Hero is going to look like. Maybe all four heroes if we get all four heroes, please, Nintendo. Banjo and Terry. But when I saw Crom, and I saw this big old cape just going around over here on the backside, just full of whooshiness, I was like, there is no way they're gonna package that. They're gonna have to do something with the cape, because even with the other Crom, so his official artwork for Fire Emblem Awakening, they also took that artwork and put it into amiibo form. Even that, the cape was swirled and everything, and that was reminiscent of his pose in Fire Emblem Awakening, um, his official line art. So I thought it was okay, maybe they'll do something like that, as a Chrome amiibo and everything. But no, they didn't. They went full out and they put that whole whoosh cape on there, and it makes him a little top heavy. But if it's not the coolest effect that I've seen on an amiibo, it's just awesome. And then like the Chrome amiibo, for Awakening, he's just full of detail. Just all the belts is there. His tattoo on his arm for the shepherds is there. It's also on the cape, and once again, torn cape. You can't have a Smash Fighter without a torn cape. I think the exception to the rule is Marth. Lucina? Let me know in the comments below, guys. I think it's just Marth and Lucina. Yeah, I think that's it. Everybody else has a ripped cape. Maybe Young Ike? No, he has a ripped cape. But yeah, it's super cool. And I think the last time I even mentioned it as well, I find it kind of weird that it's two different colored boots. But it is a boot cover. So there is this color boot under this boot. Not on here, but at least Chrome. Real Chrome. Him holding the scabbard is actually really cool too. And now you can see the sword in better detail. So I might be able to do this with maybe some hot water and put it in place, and then cold water. So we'll see. So yeah, it's super, super cool. I love Crom as the addition to Super Smash Brothers. I think it's unique. I think Crom is very unique because unlike most Echo fighters, he takes Roy's, pretty much Roy's moveset, but he also has Ike's moveset in there too. So Crom is a really unique character that I kind of wish that more Super Smash Brothers characters, at least Echo fighters that they can announce, could kind of merge the two together and kind of like it's a mishmash of two different characters to make an Echo fighter. I think that would be cool. So super unique Crom. And then next up is Simon. So we got Simon Belmont. Really cool. So I love his chain. It's actually really long. This was another character that I was extremely worried about in terms of the chain and how they would do it and everything. And they did it to the point where it's reminiscent of his his official work, his official CG work, and they put it to where the chain is actually attached to the bottom of his wrist, and it's really cool because it makes it sturdy, and there's less chance for the chain to break and everything unless you're really messing with it and it accidentally breaks and everything. So, but I love the way he looks. His shoulder armor, everything is just a nice silver metallic color. Very, very, very cool version of Simon. So I absolutely dig it. So, and then once again, this is the fact of we're getting a third-party character as this cheaper alternative for a Castlevania representative, because I know a lot of people are probably still watching the Netflix series, and I think they were supposed to announce a season 3 maybe for the Castlevania series. And I'm a huge Castlevania 3 guy. I absolutely always loved Castlevania 3, has always been my favorite game, Dracula's Curse. And then, funny enough, the one that never gets a good review, and it's not the greatest game, but it's good for what we had at the time, was Mirrors of Fate. It's a nice kind of way of retelling the characters and repurposing the characters, but kind of weird at the same time. So, but it wasn't bad in terms for exploration and gameplay. The gameplay was, when you fought enemies, it felt like Castlevania at a faster pace, and the gameplay wise felt like old Castlevania, or actually not old Castlevania, but it was very reminiscent of Symphony of the Night. So that really dig that. So having a Castlevania representative for merchandise is really cool to have, and I absolutely dig Simon. So, and then last but not least, another newcomer, Incineroar. So this guy is just super cool. I love the way that he looks. His belt is actually like a clear, translucent, frosted plastic, and it gives that fiery effect just like how Mario has it on him. And I absolutely dig it. He is super cool. Fantastic. So he's just full of personality, a little bit of heft to him, so that's a plus in my book. Super cool. I actually don't remember if I started off with Incineroar or Rowlet, I want to say. I think I did Rowlet first, then Litten in Pokemon Ultra Sun. But yeah, super cool. I love the fact that he's a wrestler. So I love how Sakurai, like, originally Rowlet or Decidueye was supposed to be the next Pokemon character for Smash Ultimate, but I guess Sakurai figured that Incineroar would be a better choice for it, and it kind of works because he is a wrestler in terms of it. So he's just full of wrestling moves, and he's just full of personality in game because he's just every move that he does, he just kind of like taunts or just like your typical wrestling thing. So it's really cool. I only wish there was like kind of a way to like Incineroar have like an intro, kind of like how most wrestlers have like an intro walk in, that he would have the same thing. So really cool. I dig him a lot. But I will say in this wave, I have to give it to Simon. This whole wave is actually really hard because I really do like Chrom as well. But once again, I have to go with Simon just because it's that third party Amiibo thing, and I really do like Simon Belmont's design. It'd be really cool if there was a red hair variant of him. So, because I know in certain Castlevania titles, like the one Mirrors of Fate is another one that did that. Castlevania Chronicles actually has Simon as red hair. Super Castlevania 4 is kind of weird because he has like brown hair, but it's very reminiscent of this. It's actually a lot reminiscent of this, and one of the costumes is actually brown hair, right? So super cool. So I'd give Simon. I think Simon wins this wave. Okay, so we are down to Ridley, Ice Climbers, Young Link, Red, Snake, and Simon. Man. I think I already know who it is. So, it's actually this guy. It's this guy. No, I'm kidding. He also came out in 2019, but I am going to do this video just of Smash Amiibo, because also in this line that came out in 2019, you can kind of see it in the corner over there. I might do an unboxing of it next year. I haven't taken out of the box is the Shovel Knight 3-pack, and then the gold Shovel Knight itself. I don't know where I'm pointing. Somewhere up there. Yeah, he's up there. So, but I decided to do this one just specifically of Smash Amiibo. Maybe later on I'll do one just overall, but also this guy came out in 2019. He's absolutely adorable. Link's Awakening is one of my favorite Game Boy games of all time. So, but no, I think for this wave, for 2019 Smash Amiibo, I have to give it to Red. So, once again, Red is my favorite Pokemon, like, everything. Other than Rayquaza, Mewtwo, Trapinch, and a couple of other Pokemon, Honedge, Doublade, Sandygast, Mimikyu, there are a lot of trainer designs and a lot of character designs that are really cool in the world of Pokemon. But I think just Red, just overall, this Red design has always been my favorite because it's so simple, yet it speaks so much about Pokemon. Just everything about Pokemon is just really cool. Even like the little Pokeball is actually a different shade. It's a shinier red than the red. Even the white as well is a shinier white. They use different paint for it. And as simple as it is, I do find it to be my absolute favorite Amiibo of 2019. So, yeah, I really dig it. So, there you go, guys. That's that's the Amiibo of 2019 for Super Smash Brothers. There's my favorite right there. I guess if I have to put a second place, it's kind of have to be favoritism, and that has to be Ridley. And once again, I'm a huge Metroid guy. I mean, I just love him. I love his effect part. It's just super cool. It just screams Ridley. So really, really cool. But yeah, there we go, guys. That's 2019. Hopefully 2020 brings us some really cool stuff. I'm hoping we get those Amiibo. I think it's January 16th or 17th. It's on a Friday. 16th, 17th, or 18th, whatever falls on that Friday. So it's going to be really cool. So the last two Amiibo before DLC come out, and that's Richter and Dark Samus. So we'll see how those two come up. But folks, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your constant support. Thank you so much for your patience for everything. 2019 has been it was a whoosh. It flew by. And you guys were there every step of the way. And I really do appreciate that. That means the world to me. And I would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. You beautiful people keep me going every day. So I get home from work. I'll be honest. I get tired. You can see right now. I'm recording this right now, almost 3-4 o'clock. So I got out early from work because of the holidays. So, but yeah, I get home tired from work. But your guys' constant support, your guys' love, you guys keep me pushing. So, and I will keep pushing myself. And I hope we grow together. You know, I hope there's more things to come. I will plan on trying to do more. I know we did the live stream last time. We'll plan on doing some live stream. Maybe we can do something different. We'll see what 2020 brings for us. We'll see Amiibo wise what 2020 brings for us, because once again, Dark Samus and Richter come out that month. But I'm also excited to see when we'll get the announcement for the 4 DLC characters, if not 5 DLC characters, wherever the 5th one is. I can't even imagine who it would be. So crazy. We'll see. But yeah, I just can't wait to see what 2020 brings for us and what new things we're going to see for the Amiibo community. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate everything. And I will see you in 2020, I guess. So, take care and smash on.